Thank you. You're now being recorded. Apologies. I'll now hand over to the clerk to read out the list of apologies.
So I've got apologies from Councillor Holden Banks for work, Councillor Hawley for illness. Also received apologies from Councillor Cross, who is undertaking live duties, County Councillor R. Swires for the commitments, and Borough Councillor Hadley for work.
No, that's it.
This is what I've read.
No relative.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you for that. We're going to number 2. Declarations of interest. Are there any declarations of interest from members in relation to items on the agenda? If there are, can you please show? If not, when we get to these, any that do come into your vocabulary, that's the one, please show them just before it's actually talked about. Okay? Number 3. Filey Town Bus Service. Council will now receive formal thanks from Colin Galloway for the £8,500 of financial assistance that the Town Council made available to the Filey Town Bus Service. Colin.
Thank you, Richard. I've just come to personally say thank you to everybody once again. Thank you for last year as well, very much appreciate it. And thank you for the forthcoming year as well for your kind donation towards the bus.
Right, thank you.
Any questions?
No questions.
Councillor Casey?
It's not a question, but we're running a fundraising afternoon for Colin's little bus on the 21st of June, and I just happen to have some tickets available if anybody wants to buy one of these.
I would just like to say, because of you, Mr. Chair, thank you for. I've never been on your bus yet.
No, I haven't noticed.
One day.
You're not old enough yet.
Too much gossip, I understand. But I've seen what you do for people and how you go near to the houses and all the help that you give people, and I think you deserve everything.
Thank you.
It's wonderful. Thank you
Thank
very,
you.
very much from all of Filey, because everybody presses.
I love it. I like coming to work, so it's not.
Well, this is it. You obviously enjoy it.
I do, yeah.
You do enjoy it. You do that.
I've never been at the same time.
Yeah.
Councillor Haxby?
I'll just echo what Marion says, and like Marion, I'm far too young not to use the bus. But it is heartening that every time you're walking down the street, you stood outside the house, you always get a cheery wave from Colin. Wherever you are, whatever you're doing, you always get a wave, and there's lots of people using it. It's a great service. Carry on the good work, Colin.
Thanks, John.
Worth every penny into it.
The next time you stop off now doing my grass cutting.
I'm not coming out.
Any more comments, please? No? Well, thank you very much,
Thanks,
Colin, for
Richard.
everything you do.
Lovely. Thanks for
Very
everything.
nice.
Thank you. Thanks, John.
Thanks, Colin.
Have a nice day.
Right, we're on to number 4 now. Public participation time. Members of the public may now speak. Please note that 15 minutes available to members of the public to speak. Are there any questions? No? Thank you. We'll move on. Number 5. North York Police Report. I hope you have all had a chance to read the report.
Just what I was going to ask. Good evening, everybody. Thanks for the opportunity to present our police report. Has everybody managed to have a read through it, have a look through it? When I do this, I don't normally go through it all, but the figures are better than last year, which I think is fantastic. There's information on the back about damage, violence, antisocial behaviour and traffic. What I will do though is, if anybody's got any questions on the reports to start with, I'm quite happy to answer them to the best of my ability.
Any questions on that report?
No? Does anybody have any other questions they'd like to ask me? Councillor?
Can you bring us up to date on the vandalism that happened over the weekend?
I can only tell you that it's happened over the weekend, and inquiries are ongoing. We've had damage to the main toilet block,
Yeah.
and damage to a business property door, so our inquiries are ongoing. That's as much information as I've got.
There's no suspects in that, you know.
I've got no further. Inquiries are ongoing.
Yeah.
They've all been reported, so if we get any further information, we'll report it back.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, thanks.
Thank you. Any Councillor Wilkins?
Yeah, sorry.
That's good.
Just on the antisocial behaviour, where this says 26 incidents, 8 were reported as targeted. What is that?
I haven't written the report. I wouldn't have put targeted. We have antisocial behaviour personnel, so it could be a fact that, I'll just give a rough example. Somebody gets eggs thrown at the windows, and it's one person, and it happens one night. The next night it happens again, and it's that same person.
Right.
That's what we class as antisocial behaviour personnel. They're not targeting. It's antisocial behaviour personnel. It should be. It's not. It's incorrectly written, to be honest. Where normally you might get eggs at 3 or 4 houses in the street, so that we class that as nuisance behaviour. That's the best way I can describe it. Targeted is it's not well written.
Yeah. Right, thank you.
Okay.
Any more comments?
Just to say,
Councillor
I don't know, it's a favourite moment, but it was a shame that the vandalism that spoiled, let's put it, would stand from such a wonderful weekend, and how well the police, was, and how well it was all organised.
Well, thank you for
And
that.
the police, marvellous,
Yeah, I'll
I
take
know
that
they're
back.
coming from far and wide, but they were very friendly, waving and everything, I think.
I think it was a fantastic day for Filey,
Everything
wasn't
was
it?
fantastic, it really was. It was, everybody was friendly and everything.
Yeah, thank you. I'll pass that back.
William,
Yes,
thank you.
absolutely.
Right, thank you. Any more comments? No? No? Well, thank you very much
Thanks
for
for your
coming
time.
along
Thanks very
tonight.
much.
We move on now to number 6 on the agenda. Borough and County Council's report. Scarberry Councillors' reports. Unfortunately, Councillor Cockrell and Councillor Cross can't hear this evening. We'll move on to number 6. Yeah. Is there any questions you might want raising for Scarborough Councillors while we're on this? Councillor Anthony.
It would be nice if we get a report even if we can't hear in person. Otherwise we're sort of out the loop, aren't we?
Yep. Yes, that's noted. Okay, is any more? Councillor Wilkie.
Just on that, I'd say it is unusual that we haven't had a report from Councillor Cochrane.
Yes, it is.
It is unusual.
Okay.
Permanently.
Yes.
I mean, I didn't know it wasn't going to be
I
one.
don't think he's coming.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Any more comments that you'd like to make to Scarborough Councillors? Because we can't get in touch with them by email, of course.
Yeah, we must remember that there is more than one, and there's one that's never, ever sent a report in.
Yes, Councillor, right. I did say it with them.
Yeah. Right.
Debbie, any? No? Okay, we'll move on then to 6B. North Yorkshire County Council report. Councillor Slayers.
I'm afraid I've got various notes. I just ran out of time. I think I've got pretty well everything covered. A gentleman at the last meeting, the AGM, raised the question over Wharfdale and Muston Road Junction. It says the vehicles are causing serious obstruction, and it's really a matter for the police. The properties on Muston Road do have vehicle access at the rear, so they could perhaps consider using that. To he asked if it would be possible to have yellow lines put on to stop people parking at the junction. He said to introduce a new traffic regulations order, it can take several months and is a long and lengthy legal process involving many hours of office time. Once the proposals have been drawn up, the alterations go out to public consultation. Any objections to the order have to be addressed, and then, should the proposals be supported, it then has to go before members of the County Council to gain approval. County Council's members have approved methods of prioritising work on traffic regulation orders. Priority is given to requests for new traffic regulation orders which meet one or more of the following criteria. Traffic regulation orders which are required as part of a highway scheme that has secured funding for the current financial year, which are required to guarantee enforceability of an existing restriction, which would address an existing road safety issue with proven casualty history. That's the important point, the proven casualty history. Which would provide a disabled parking bay, as if the council's policy requirements are met, which would improve an existing and significant congestion problem. Andrew has checked our injury collision records database, which is provided by the North Yorkshire Police, and we can confirm that we have a record of one serious injury collision occurring in the last 8 years at the lower junction to Wharfdale. It occurred in February 2015, and the driver was travelling from Filey and turning right into Wharfdale, and he misjudged the turn and collided with a car travelling down Muston Road into Filey. No other record of injury collisions at either junction. So therefore, really, there is just no basis to give a priority for yellow lines, at this location. However, may be helpful, Scarborough Borough Council have an inconsiderate parking scheme, which might be something you could consider.
What does that mean?
Well, I mean, obviously I'm not on the Scarborough Borough Council, but obviously it means that any inconsiderate parking, that they have some measures that they have in place, which it might be used, remembering that some residents on Muston Road, which seem to, their parking seems to be causing part of the problem. If they could, because they have access to the back of their homes, where some people could park, if that could be made use of. So it may be an avenue to explore. Just help a little bit.
Right, are you all ready for some questions on that part of it now?
Yes, I'll do each bit as we come to it, shall we?
Okay then, first one, Councillor Meek.
Could you tell me why we have to wait for fatal accident before anybody ever does anything?
That is a question.
I thought we were supposed to prevent accidents, not cause them.
Yeah. That's a question that's often asked, but that is the criteria that they use.
To me, the criteria wants changing. So any council on that basis not just North Yorkshire, is going to wait until there's a fatal accident before they do all.
Well, I think it's really a way of trying to give priority to the most serious locations.
Because over this busy weekend that we've just had, the parking just on the top and bottom entrances to Waterville, you come round the corner, which are blind corners, you find yourself 45 feet in, and there's a car parked, and there's a car coming all the way. You've just nowhere to go. So I think something should be done about it.
I don't disagree with you, and I will pass those comments on, but this sort of thing has been said many times before, and
Yeah, but it's about time people did something about it instead of just sitting behind the desk and saying, no, we're not meeting this criteria.
well, as I say, I will pass your comments on. But I can't really say much more than that, really.
Don't get me wrong, I'm not getting it myself. I'm just...
Yeah, I agree with you, and I think many people would agree with you, but that is the criterion that they use. And I think it's just a way of getting to the most serious location.
So how do we go about changing the criteria? Because I don't want to see somebody having a fatal accident and saying, well, I've been trying to do this and trying to do that, and everybody's just ignoring you.
Well, all I can say is I will pass it on.
Well, if you would, then
Yeah.
come back with it and see what happens. But
Right.
something does want to go about it.
Right, thank you, Councillor Mead. Councillor Wilkie, and then Councillor Case.
There's a couple of things. I think relaying all that from Andrew Sanson, is it?
Yes.
I think at least he ought to just maybe put that down in an email to Tom, maybe, then we can at least pass that on to the resident directly if we've got his contact details.
I've got a telephone number, and I am meaning to ring him.
Yeah, I thought it'd be easier coming direct from him by us or however,
Yeah.
rather than us trying to translate everything, if that's all right.
Right.
Right, thank
So,
you.
just a second thing about inconsiderate parking. The cars on Mustard Road that are near to the bottom entrance of Clarence Drive and opposite that entrance, we've been trying to sort that out for as long as I've been on the council, and time before that, I'm sure. And the police say they can't do anything, the council say they can't do anything, and it will take someone getting killed or a serious accident to sort that. I understand it's a low priority, I get that.
No,
If you look at the criteria,
if you look at the criteria, it is. But I mean,
I know you're governed by
if you
that,
were a
so-
private resident and the council came in and said, oh look, you can't do this, that and the other, you would take, you wouldn't really take any notice, and because we've got no teeth to enforce it.
well, that's what I'm saying, there's nothing to enforce it, so
Yeah.
this is the problem. So we've tried every route we possibly can, and I don't think we've ever got anywhere.
So, I mean, have you heard of this inconsiderate parking scheme that Galway Borough Council
I
has?
think we must have asked about that before. I think the council have written to the residents opposite the on numerous occasions. And I would say that that's under that scheme. I would say.
That could maybe be clarified, and if it had been tried.
A letter went to every person down Mustard Road.
You know, I mean, we can't get one of the most dangerous junctions probably in the county at Murray Street sorted out, so we're not going to get that sorted out.
Just to say...
Just a
Sorry,
minute,
we went off the
Councillor,
office.
right, we've got Councillor Case.
Thank you.
I beg your pardon.
Well, we're talking about if somebody got killed, the criteria doesn't say it's all fatal accidents, does it?
No,
I don't think.
serious injury.
It's all sorts of incidents, but the thing is, a lot of near misses might happen, a few escapes might happen, but are they ever reported?
No.
If they're not reported to police, then their database won't be updated by the police. So it can be, all near misses should be reported, if you like. You just 101 and get a log number. It's got to then be imported over to their database, and it builds up a picture of what's happening at a particular junction. That's why every time we see something stupid happening at Murray Street and West Avenue, we should do the same. We should do the same. Everybody should do it. But we don't do it because it's a lot easier not to spend half your life trying to get through to 101.
You're absolutely correct, though. Everything should be reported because then it gets onto a database somewhere.
It's the only way you get a true picture.
Yeah.
It's like reporting crime and antisocial behaviour. It's the only way.
Yeah.
Right, thank you for that, Councillor Casey. Councillor Wright.
Just to quickly say to Councillor Mead, I would have a word with the MP and ask him if he can put it through as a private member's bill, that this criteria gets taken off. Because it's a government recommendation, obviously, and it goes right from the top. I don't think it's just us round here. I think it's everybody in the country.
It will be.
Yeah, I would have worked with Parliament, send him an email.
Right, Councillor Busman.
Going back to the Scarborough Council's inconsiderate parking, this was brought to this council a while ago, and I did advise someone that came to me complaining about somebody inconsiderately parking and blocking their entrance and blah blah blah, and that person got no joy whatsoever. So we are aware of it. I have put people in touch with that particular department of FBC with no particular good result.
Well, we're just looking for another avenue that could be explored.
So we are. Personally, I'm aware, and I do believe it was brought into this chamber.
Right, thank you for that. Do you want to carry on?
Depression at the junction of John Street and Bellevue Street. Andrew informs me that they are aware of it and are intending to be on site to carry out a repair later this year. Also the Murray Street one. So they'll probably do the two at the same time. I haven't had a lot of joy with regarding Tesco car park and the Scarborough Borough Council one. I have emailed Jane Wilson, who is head of parking at Scarborough Borough Council. The person I spoke to didn't seem to think it had anything to do with them. So anyway, I have emailed her and I'll let you know if I hear anything.
Right, thank you.
The Tour de Yorkshire, I think everyone is in the media has said it has been a wild success, and yes, you're quite right to thank the police and the emergency services. They all did a wonderful job right across Yorkshire. There is a wonderful picture of Filey taken from just above the Crescent Hill there, looking right down. I don't know if you've seen it, but I don't think I've ever seen such a good picture of Filey. It was wonderful. It goes right over the top and captures the crowds that were there. The helicopter did pictures over Filey Junior School of their land art. And I was there on the day that Sir Gary Verity came to Filey to, I'm not sure, unveil it or whatever the word is, and that was very wet and cold. So it was a big difference. Let me see. The locality budgets will be commencing next week. And as to the environmental locality budget, I'm still trying to get details on it, but I have progressed a little. They're going to have a seminar on June the 6th to discuss it all, because it's important that we get it right, because it has to be introduced in a very safe and sound way, because it could be, could involve a highway or something like that. And until I see the criteria, I can't really say an awful lot about it, but they want to get the wording right. So I should know more next time. Unfortunately, I can't make the seminar on June the 6th, because I'm going down to London. But I'll hear all about it when I get back.
Councillor Wright.
I know what you're talking about.
I did tell you, we've got the usual locality budget of £5,000.
What's locality budget?
Each councillor has it each year
I'm with you.
to give things.
Yes.
But this year,
Yeah.
there was an additional £5,000 in the form of an environmental
I'm with you now. Yeah.
But I didn't...
Grant money.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. But I haven't seen the criteria for it yet, and the protocols. Well, I think it's more about the protocols rather than how it's going to be used. And anyway, they're going to be discussing this at this seminar on the 6th of June.
Right.
So I'll know more after that.
Thank you.
I think that's all I have. I did have a visit to Allerton Park Waste Recovery Plant, which was a very controversial thing a few years ago, if you remember. It's open and fully working to capacity now, and everything seems to be going well. I don't know. Has anyone got anything that they want to bring up? I think that's about it.
Right, Councillor Casey.
Shortly after you won this seat, Ellen, I reported in this chamber about the bridge.
Yes, and if I remember rightly, it was being inspected.
You told me that it had been inspected and it was sound, but there's photographs there now and it's bulging and splitting even more than it was before. This has been sent to by a member of the public. So there's clearly something not right with it. So I would ask that you get your engineers down to have another closer look, really, because it is looking quite bad. Don't want it falling down, do it?
Right, have a closer look at that.
And I also sent you an email on, when did we have the Filey Blood meeting? Wednesday. Was it Wednesday, Filey Blood meeting?
Right.
Tuesday. I sent you an email on Tuesday about the budget you've just been talking to. Oh, you haven't responded.
Oh, I must have missed it somewhere, because I am having trouble just keeping up with everything at the minute.
Yesterday.
Yeah.
Councillor Hampstead.
Yeah, on the Yorkshire Coast Radio website, I understand that Councillor Broadbent has commented that a large proportion of the county's investment in the Tour de Yorkshire have been spent on bringing the race route into a pristine condition. And the rest of the county was looking like a meteor had hit it.
Oh, that's a bit harsh.
I don't think it is, no. I must admit, it's the first time I've seen as many gangs putting tarmacking holes in the local route than I've ever seen anybody working from the county here. And it's always the route, it wasn't anywhere else, it was the route of the Tour de Yorkshire they were filling holes in, which was the seafront, the Crescent, Church Ravine, Scarborough and Luston Road, basically. And nothing at all has been done in the rest of the town. Now you multiply that by the rest of the county, and that investment must be far more than 180,000. And I did ask the question, what is the total cost to the county of the Tour de Yorkshire this year? Including signage, people putting no parking bollards out, filling roads in, cutting verges, because it was all done for the Tour de Yorkshire.
Much of it would be happening anyway. Yes, there will be, they will have concentrated to some extent on the route because it has to be right. But much of it would have been taking place in any event.
Well, his argument is that local taxpayers who pay the money should have their local back roads all pristine. Why just the route of the Tour de Yorkshire when they're actually paying for it?
Well,
It's a question a lot of people ask. You know, it takes a bike race to get some of the roads mended.
I'll certainly pass it on.
And to be fair, when you look at the patches, I would suggest that a lot of them haven't been done to proper standard. Which are, you've got to dig it out with square sides, square holes and properly tamped in patches. They've just been swinging tarmac in the holes and tamping it down. And I have a feeling the next good bout of rain is going to wash it all out. I mean, I don't know if anybody else thinks the same thing, but as far as I've seen, it's not been a proper repair.
Councillor Shackleton.
It was just about filling these holes in. I believe there is a national criteria regarding how you should fill.
Yes, there is.
As my colleague has just said, I don't think any regulations were followed regarding that.
I'll certainly ask the question, but I think I can be sure that all things have been done to the Euro standard.
Councillor Mead.
One good example is on Mustard Road, bottom entrance to Wharfdale. They filled in the road, and I would say 10 metres in, just as you turn into the bottom entrance, there's a big split in the road. Why wasn't that filled in at the same time? It's only 10 metres off the main road, and that's been there ages.
I think Councillor Squires has already stated this evening that there's priorities, Councillor Mead, so perhaps that wasn't a priority.
I just thought I'd save the council money if they'd done it at the same time. At the time it would have taken.
I will certainly pass on your comments, and I'm not sure what we'll say in response, but we'll see.
Right, thank you. Any more comments, please? Or questions? No? Thank you very much for coming along tonight, Councillor Squires. Number 7.
Chair. If I may just say,
Councillor Shackleton.
to Helen, I'm looking forward to Sunday.
I'm looking forward to coming on from there. I'm hopeful that the weather will hold, but we'll see.
Councillor Mead, you've got a...
Just one question, Alan. The bus that's on from Country Park, does that run as required both ways?
Well, yes, but it will take us back after the service.
And what about coming back from the where they have it?
Flower May.
Yeah, Flower May. Does that run?
No, it's not going down to Flower May. It's only to get you from the car park down to the church. Because at the time, earlier on, we were a bit concerned about the distances for anyone walking a long way, and also it was tipping it down with the rain.
Then you go back to your car, and then you go in your car from there.
And there's a Flower May on the road.
Then there's car parking in there.
Because we're trying to, I'm sorry, I shouldn't have been standing here. So we're just trying to aid any congestion that might occur, especially around the church, because it makes narrow up to the church, and we just thought it might just help.
Yeah, it will.
Yeah.
Good idea.
Yeah. Because I mean, obviously we've got one or two that I think two that have got disabled, and they'll obviously go to the church.
I misread the email.
Yes.
Right, right, thank you for that. We're moving on now to number 7, Town Clerk and our report report. Or now on the report.
Thank you. Just quickly before I start going through the report itself, there's a few little things I was going to talk about. So the annual meeting is coming up, and what I'll do early next week is send out forms where you can express which committees you'd like to go on.
Yeah.
I will I'll sort of send that out as soon as I can, early on Monday. The other thing to let you know is that the annual return, which is the sort of auditing, is going ahead at pace. I've got David coming in soon to go through some of the final checks, so that should all be done before the deadline. On that topic, because it has to be by the 11th of June, there might be a requirement for a special meeting of the council just to sign it all off in the first week of June. But I'm going to see if I can get it all done for the annual meeting. I'll try and wrap it up with that, but it's obviously a large and complicated job. So just to put it sort of on morning first week of June. It might need to happen. And then finally, just to say that before this meeting, I have a little session to go through people's register of interest and code of conduct. I'll be doing the same before the annual council meeting. So anyone who's done it doesn't have to go, but it is no requirement for you to do. If you want to look to update your register of interest and me to go through the code of conduct with you, you can meet with me at 6 PM before the annual meeting. Right, so first thing on the report was that the Scarborough Borough Council have confirmed that they have appointed seasonal landing attendant for Cobble Landing. He is scheduled to work weekends from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m, start work on the 5th of May and will work through to the 7th of August. Then finally, secondly, I just did I put on the action logs and some actions that I did from the last meeting. Just to say on the conversion of honorary citizens into honorary freemen, I've had responses from all of them, and what I was going to suggest is before the June meeting, a special meeting takes place to do that conversion work that we discussed at the last meeting of council. It should be very quick, but it's part of the formal process of how people are created. Then the committee structure goes to the next planning, which was delayed a bit. Then you've got some upcoming meetings, you've got some upcoming local rental meetings and mayoral engagements for the year, and thus ends my exciting report.
Thank you very much. Tom, any questions on that report, please? If not, we'll move on to number 8 on the agenda. Minutes of the ordinary meeting held on Wednesday, the 11th of April 2018. You have all had a chance to read the minutes. Could I have a proposer and a seconder to approve the minutes, please? Councillor Meek and Councillor Wright. All those in favour of the minutes? Thank you. Go on to number 9. Councillor committees. Working parties and outside bodies. A. Councils to note the following minutes. 1. 5th of the 4th, 2018, Property Committee. Have we got a proposer and a seconder for that, please? Proposed by Councillor Anthony and seconded by Councillor Casey. All those in favour of that, please? Thank you. Staffing Committee meeting held on the 26th of the 4th, 2018. Have we got a proposer and a seconder? Proposed by Councillor Bosworth and seconded by Councillor Thurston. All those in favour of that, please? Thank you. Do any members wish to comment on anything on that, please? No. Okay. We'll move on. B. Council to note the following report for the CAP meeting held on the 28th of March 2018. I hope you've had a chance to read the minutes. Have you?
Yes.
Right. Does any members wish to comment on the minutes, please? No. Please could I have a proposer and a seconder to note the minutes? Proposed, please. Councillor Meek, a seconder. Councillor Bosworth. All those in favour, please. Thank you. We're going to number 10 now. Schedule of payments. Do any members wish to make a comment or ask any questions about the schedule? You've got it on your iPads. No? Could I have a proposer and a seconder to approve the schedule amounting to £45,741.77p?
I'll move those, Chair.
Proposed by Councillor Shackleton and seconded by Councillor Buttonworth. All those in favour, please. Thank you. We go to number 11 on the agenda. bank reconciliation. I hope you've all had a chance to look over the reconciliation for March 2018. Councillor Shackleton, do you have any comments to make about that?
Just my usual reply, Chair, that everything's where it should be.
Thank you. Does any members wish to comment? No. If so, could I have a proposer and a seconder to approve the reconciliation? Proposed by Councillor Shackleton, seconded by Councillor Meek. All those in favour? Thank you. Number 12. Queen Street Garden. I hope you have all had a chance to read the report in relation to Queen Street Gardens. I will hand over to the clerk before opening to the floor for debate. Tom.
Thank you. So I'm not going to speak for long. I just quickly wanted to go through the report that I presented to you. So at a meeting held at the Property Committee in April, this issue was raised and it was decided to defer it to Council for wider discussion, which is the reason why it isn't today. I've put down some background information, which is sort of self-explanatory. Then what I've tried to do is, it's up to you guys obviously, but you don't have to make a sort of binding, locked-in decision today. What I've been trying, when I was approached for, what I was looking to try and do was to get you sort of thinking of making an in-principle decision. So the reason that I would ask you to do that, or urge you to consider doing that, is because this will be, whatever you decide to do, even doing nothing, just leaving it as it is still going to require work and money, and time, and effort. And so, what I was hoping to get you to do is to sort of think of it in sort of that way. And what I've done is giving you sort of four options. Now, it's worth saying with this, there is an incredibly large sort of sections of shaded grey between these options. These are the four broad ones as I saw it, which is 1, sale of the site, 2, sale of part of the site, and retention of the other part, 3, retention, but the site wouldn't be open to the public, 4, retain the site and open it to the public. Now, although some of those options might seem straightforward, even number 4, which would basically be returning it to how it was, I mean, there's a question around that. Do you want it returning to how it was? So, for instance, some of the paths might need completely and utterly removing, taking out and rebuilding up again. Do you want them to look exactly as they are? So, there's aesthetic questions, but then in relation to all this, the biggest issues around this is sort of like how quickly do you want whatever you want to happen? Broadly, what's the sort of envelope of spend that you want to attach to it? And thirdly, I don't want to seem vague on Facebook, sort of why. So I feel that that's what you get to. Now the reason I've sort of done it in this in principle way rather than a binding decision is so, because obviously with me going, I'm not going to be around to do this work. So what I'm hoping to do is to use this opportunity to give a steer to the Property Committee and my successor, so that they, well, if we're going to be blunt, don't waste a colossal amount of time exploring an option that you in this chamber do not want to see explored. So, for instance, if everyone or the majority of people are totally and wholly opposed to the sale of the site or retention of the site, there's no point sort of looking into the other one. So, it's just to be clear. I think that's it. I'm quite happy to take any questions on the report before we go to the sort of discussion. But
does anybody want to ask any questions to Tom about the report?
I haven't got a question there, but I don't know whether it's something in Tom's remit that he could answer. I prefer, as far as I can see, option 3, which is retained and not open it to the public, because I think of the health and safety factors. But I'd like to know, if we did that, would it have to be completely fenced off and completely, immune to safety factors? Because if we left it as it is and somebody got into it and then they damage themselves, are we still liable? Which I think we would be on a health and safety factor. I don't know.
So this is one of the reasons why I've sort of done it in this simple way. Because just doing it because you described, I mean, so let's just take one small issue. In not opening it to the public. What signs do you put up? So don't, access points aside, what signs do you put up? Where do you put it? What does it look like? How durable do you want it to be? So that, in terms of your health and safety question, if it's not going to go open to the public, and it could potentially be risky to go in there, I think it's probably one of the things that needs sort of saying. It needs to be more durable than the laminated signs that we keep putting up and getting blown down in the rain. And so, it's fine for now where you've been considering it, but if you're considering for the long-term future and not opening it up again, just that one issue alone that you just described there, that's a massive field of research and thought that needs to go into it. And the access point, I honestly can't answer you, because there's going to have to be some degree of access to maintenance, if nothing else. But what that looks like, I honestly couldn't tell you. And you were talking a considerable degree of research and thinking about it, because obviously you don't want to have access just in one part of it and having someone traipsing down all the way to the bottom to have to get back up to the top. But that, just in relation to that one option, you're right, it is a factor, but I honestly don't have many answers to you because it's such a difficult side.
I didn't think you would have that, but it was a question that I think needs answer.
Councillor Shackleton. Thank you, Chair. You have a few points to make. On the safety issue, surely it's not safe for members of the public. It's deemed not safe for Filey Town Council contractors who go in there to keep the ground tidy. That's just one point. Secondly, just recently, it has been a financial burden on this council. But in the past, not so. It's just got the sum of, keeping it tidy with the garden. I'd hate to see it sold off, because like the borough, I think we should keep assets in fire. Because once it's sold, that's it, it's irreplaceable. Yes, we may have money in the bank, but that asset has gone. My thought is it should be reopened. If it's just a matter of cultivating those plants that are in there, why can't we just do that? But obviously we need somebody to go in and tell us just what it does mean. It's a shame, if you're going to keep it as a garden, I feel it needs to be open. Otherwise, it's just there. What you're left with, you're just left with that beautiful view.
Councillor Casey.
I agree. We've already spent £18,200 sorting the water problem. It's a lot of money to spend to just then sell it off. We could have sold it off and let the buyer pay that money out, couldn't we? And I would really, really be keen to return it and open it again to the public with perhaps less paths and a bit of landscaping lawn at the bottom. And I think then they could last this town for another 100 years.
Councillor O'Kane.
I've got to say I'm not fully up to speed with the total state of the gardens as they stand today. So it's quite difficult to know what to say. But I'm edging towards getting it back to open to the public. I wouldn't want it selling off. Not that I don't think anybody would stick their hand up and buy it for a reasonable amount of money anyway, because of the state of it. But if we hadn't had this problem with the water, we would have just carried on. We wouldn't have done we wouldn't have spent a fortune on repairing the paths, or we would have repaired them as they came, but we wouldn't have spent a whole load of money doing that, only when it needed it. So I don't know what the state of the paths are at the moment, so maybe I'm talking out of turn, but obviously there will be some repair work as time went on.
I mean, to interject very quickly on that point. That's part of the issue around this work that we're looking at, because the state of the past, no one actually knows. I mean, you can look at them, but I think, you know, given the level of damage that they will have received, it's going to require more investigation than someone just looking at it. So I'm not saying let's dissuade it all, I'm just saying, again, that in and of itself is actually quite sort of like just getting that investigation done. And then as I said, I'll just direct you back to the thing I was saying earlier, it's like if you wanted to reopen, do you want it to look exactly the same as it does now? I recognise that.
Well, I don't know what it looks like now, so...
No, I mean, so when it's open to the public, you want it returning to the same condition.
Councillor Shackleton.
Yeah, just going back to the closing of it, you know, if we do close it, we've still got to get our contractors in there and make sure they're safe. And we've still got to make it safe for anybody that does go in there. Because I'm sure we'll still be covered if anybody does come in there. So you might as well do it up and open it as close it and do it up if you follow me meaning.
Councillor Rutherford.
The question's been asked by the public, when is it going to be open again, on more than one occasion. So I think obviously the need is there for the public to have it back open again. And that would be my preferred option, to do whatever's necessary to make it safe for it to be reopened.
Right, thank you for that. Councillor Meek.
I don't think anyone knows how much the garden is going to cost. Because we don't know what's underneath or anything. So keep that in mind, and also why not get a free valuation on the land? So it shouldn't cost us getting an evaluation. And then take it from there.
Councillor Casey and then Councillor Busman.
I think I would not have to choose one of these four options really, and then move on from there. I don't see the point of getting evaluation, but the majority of here don't want to sell. I think we should retain it open to the public and get an engineer, a structural engineer there to assess the situation and give us proper information about costs and what might need to be done.
Councillor Busman.
We couldn't get a free valuation on it because we'd have to go through the district auditor to do it, and that costs money.
Well,
as far as I'm aware, am I correct?
Councillor Shackleton.
I'd just like to say about the options, these are just ideas put forward by the park. I mean, members of the council, and if any member comes up with anything else, well, so be it.
Councillor Meek.
well, yeah, evaluation. If you keep it open, you're still going to spend money on it. So why not get district auditor in there valued? You've got to, before you even start saying that you want to sell it, you want to know what it's worth. For option one.
Councillor Wilkie.
I don't believe I've heard anyone suggest that we do want to sell it.
No, I've always thought, this is my personal view, that we should sell it. And I've said it openly, but it depends on what the valuation is. No point saying you're going to sell something and you don't even know what the valuation of that property is.
I agree, so through your chair, you're basically saying before we can say whether we want to sell it, we need to know.
Yeah.
Basically.
Yeah. That's what I said. Value it.
Councillor Anthony.
If we did decide as council to retain it and open to the public, where would you start getting quotes? You know, would that be further down the line? Because it may be prohibitive to open it again. We don't know how much it's going to
Cost. No, we don't.
No. Oh, sorry, I thought you disagreed. You agree. So, you know.
Agree with you, Councillor.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. So, yeah, I think, you know, it's what Filey wants to see, isn't it, that we keep it. There's been a lot of comments on when is it opening again, as Councillor Busman said. It is a part of Filey, but it does worry me how much the council would have to spend on it. It's unusual coming from me, because I like to spend council money.
It is. Very much so. Does anybody else want to comment?
Oh yeah. Thank you. You thought you got me already.
Come on, Councillor Shackleton.
if members feel that we should get a free valuation on this, well, so be it. But I would just like to say that if we do sell it and somebody does get planning permission to build on that site, we will be pillared from pillar to post regarding removing that beautiful view.
They will.
Yeah, and the other thing, if we do sell it, you won't be able to have a say at all on what happens to it. It'll be in their hands, unfortunately. So, Councillor Wilkie.
Yeah, I agree with Councillor Shackleton. I think, how many times have we sat in this chamber and complained about the borough selling off this, that and the other, and here we are, we've got the first thing that I can remember that's really causing us a problem, and it could be a money pit, I totally accept that, because we don't know, and we're talking about selling it before we're even trying to look at ways of trying to do something about it. So that's,
Councillor Casey, yeah.
I'm just totally against even considering selling it and or getting an evaluation, but sending out the wrong message like Councillor Shackleton says. It's a well-known beauty spot. It was always, when it was open, photographed on a daily basis by visitors and residents alike. And much loved. I get asked 3 times a week by one particular person when it's opening again. And many more besides. And we'd be cutting our own throats if we sold that land.
Councillor Wright and then Councillor Meek.
Well, I did say I was in favour of option 3. I think I've gone now to the, retaining it. I mean, there's plenty of money in the council. We do with the short of money. Goodness sake, let's spend it on there, and do something for the public. I would want it to be sold, most definitely. And I don't think you'd get, personally, I don't think you'd get a free valuation without a survey on it. Because they'd have to come with, putting things down to see how stable the actual underneath is. Because I tell you what, I wouldn't buy it to build on. You might end up at top of the bungalows or something.
Councillor Meek.
Can anyone tell me what is wrong in getting a valuation on the property? I didn't say for selling, a valuation.
Who's first up? Councillor Casey.
I think the feeling is that we don't want to sell. By getting a valuation, if that got out in the public, it would give the wrong message. You know what? Chinese whispers are like in Filey. So we're going to be selling it. I don't see the need to get a valuation. We don't need to know how much it's worth. We want to retain it and fix it and open it.
Councillor Wilkie then.
so, as per Councillor Casey. We've got the same thing written down.
Councillor Shackleton.
Yeah, perhaps we should get a valuation on this piece of land. Shouldn't it be on our asset register?
Yeah.
Which it clearly isn't, or the value isn't. Is it really?
Yeah, it's not that.
What's it valued with?
Should be, if it's, as far as I can remember, it should be down in the community asset for £1. That's how you register.
Well, yeah. Well,
I'll buy it for that.
Councillor Meek, I've just answered your question. That's a valid reason to get a valuation.
It is.
I'm not quite, sorry. So if we just interrupt, the whole point of this conversation thing was so that you didn't go off in 15 different directions.
We do.
As I was trying to say to you, especially when we're going, this is always going to be quite a lengthy and difficult process. Now, if you wish to get valuation, that's fine, but you're not going to be able to get an estate agent to come down, taking pictures of it, looking at it from right move. That isn't going to happen, and even if you did persuade someone to do it, although I doubt you could, you have to get the district auditor in anyway, because whatever he or she says is the only thing that matters. And that costs money, and it will take time, and it will be, so far, unless I have this wrong, it seems to be that the sale group seems to be the minority, So if that's the case, I'm not entirely clear why or what benefit it would be to the council to get valuation. Having community assets the value of pounds is a fairly common thing because you can't measure them. I mean, how do you measure a view? You can't. You know, that's what makes it a community asset. That's why it's done for £1. It's a nominal amount so that you've got to register as something.
Councillor Shackleton.
Yeah, I've got the asset register here. It's actually asset value at £1,000.
Yeah, it's a nominal value.
It's the insurance value that we've got down as £1.
Yeah, there you go.
Councillor Wilkie.
I think by putting a couple of options of selling the whole piece of land or the part of it, certainly to me follows on that we need to find out how much it's worth. So that's where that comes from. I'm against it, but just to try and answer what you're saying there, Tom. But if you're giving us an option to sell the land, we'll need to know at some point if we went down that route, wouldn't we?
Sorry to repeat, the whole point of this is so that you don't explore 3 or 4 different options, because all of you will think...
I'm only exploring one option, Tom.
Yeah, well, if you're only exploring one option, then you don't need to get evaluation. If we're going to be...
I don't want evaluation.
Or anyone, if we're going to be blunt, that's the whole point of it, because just getting the district auditor to come and do it will be a massive job. Like a resource back off because of the way you're released.
I mean, through you, Chair, I mean, I don't want the valuation, I'm not going down that route, I'm just taking part in the debate.
I'm not doing this for me.
No.
Right, Councillor Wright, Councillor Anthony and then Councillor...
Oh, we had the district thing last time at the police station.
Oof.
How much did that cost? £17,000, wasn't it?
No, not the district value.
Ah, well, the road was a lot of money. Why not spend that on the actual place? I mean, I think it's just chucking good money after bad. You know, if you can't do it without that success, then why spend that money? Because none of us, only Councillor Meek, is interested in selling it. So
No,
why go down that path?
My personal view is, I said, was sell it, but you can't sell anything unless you get a value for it.
Councillor Anthony and then Councillor Anthony.
I think we've gone all around the issue, so surely at some point as a council we should be coming to a decision, unless we forward it onto another meeting. But it's come from the properties to be discussed by the council, and I believe there are enough of us to make a decision on the direction we wish to go in.
Councillor Bosman.
The clerk asked us to make an in-principle choice on the 4 options he's put in front of us, or come up with another one. The consensus of opinion that I seem to get in this chamber is that we are in favour of option 4. In principle, I think we should proceed on that basis.
Here we are.
Right. So, have we got a proposal then for this?
I'm in a forceful mood today. I'll propose that.
Get down now.
Proposed by Councillor Button, seconded by Councillor Casey. All those in favour of the motion? 1, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Those against? Anybody abstaining? So the motion is passed that we're looking to option 4.
Well, in principle, I think
That's the principle.
Yeah,
That's the road we're going down.
it is. Okay, that's lovely. We'll move on now then to number 13 on the agenda, exclusion of press and public. In relation to the next item, I move that due to its confidential nature, for the reasons stated on the agenda, that the Council resolved to exclude the press and public from the meeting during consideration of the in accordance with section 1/2 of the Public Bodies Admission of the Meetings Act 1960. All those in favour of that? Right. John Casey seconded it and we've all... You did?
Yeah, I didn't, Mr. Chairman.
All right. Well, we're all right this one.
I need to turn the recording off first.
Right. Just give him a second.
I need to give it 2 minutes and I'll let it out because I can't, or else I'll end up chopping off. Yeah, it'll be just give him, well, you can go at speakers on the
Right. Are you going to introduce the item?
Right, number 14.
Has it been locked up?
Yes. Appointment of Town Clerk and Responsible Financial Officer. I will now hand over to Councillor Butterworth, the Chair of Staffing, to make recommendations to Council in relation to the appointment of the new Town Clerk and RFO.
Right.
Fall on the floor.
Fall on the floor, yes. First of all, before I make my recommendation, I would really like to thank the members of